matter what people think about cheerleading. If it's something that you love to do, then that's all that counts. Good afternoon, Negative Team, class, and Mr. Redican. I'm Alex Snyder, and today I want to make it clear to you that although cheerleading may not be a sport, it should not be eliminated altogether. Listen again to the quote written by Jade, an About.com contributor. If it's something that you love to do, then that's all that counts. Isn't just doing it because it's something that you love all that really matters? The answer is yes. With the resolution being resolved that cheerleading should not be recognized as a varsity sport at Upper Dublin High School, we as the affirmative argue that cheerleading should not be considered a sport, rather an activity. We're not suggesting abolishing it completely, because it's a great opportunity for girls to participate together in something they enjoy. But to call cheerleading a sport is ludicrous. Here at Upper Dublin High School, two of the following three sports are not considered as such: cheerleading, ice hockey, and crew. Before this year, all three lack sports certification. Now that cheerleading has been ruled a sport by PIAA for this year, as my partner Kyle mentioned with archery, why shouldn't ice hockey and crew be as well? Upper Dublin is not alone in this, and that's the problem. According to the article, Cheerleading Takes a Tumble by Liz Clark, in 2003, the University of Maryland, an NCAA Division I college, added competitive cheerleading as a varsity sport in favor of crew and ice hockey like Upper Dublin. Why? Not because cheerleading necessarily qualified as a sport, but because it was less expensive. Since then, only 4 other schools have joined Maryland in naming Division I varsity cheerleading teams. However, this year, Maryland will be dropping its cheerleading team due to the necessity of allocating funds elsewhere. The NCAA is usually responsible for setting a precedent for high school sports, as it provides another level of competition after high school. But if the NCAA does in fact set that precedent, shouldn't high schools then not consider it a sport as well and follow in Maryland's footsteps? Maryland is not alone in its cheerleading ordeal. Quinnipiac University also tried and failed to create a varsity cheerleading program in 2010, which resulted in taking their issue to court. The Christian Science Monitor's Stacy Tyker-Cataroo wrote in her article, "Cheerleading doesn't count as a real sport, judge rules," about how Quinnipiac planned to cut their girls' volleyball team in favor of cheerleading. Yes, Kelly, it's true. Quinnipiac's appeal was denied, and as was made known by Slate.com's Aisha Harris, they appealed once more to the Second U.S. Court of Appeals, arguing that under Title IX, which calls for equal gender opportunities, especially in sports, cheerleading should be considered a varsity sport. However, the previous decision of barring its sports accreditation was upheld, and Quinnipiac was left without varsity cheerleading. The decision was justified by U.S. District Judge Stephen Underhill's ruling that the school discriminated by failing to provide equal athletic participation opportunities for women, and that competitive cheerleading is still too underdeveloped and disorganized to be treated as offering genuine varsity athletic participation. You heard it from the universities and from the federal government. Cheerleading is not a sport and lacks the foundation to be considered one. As Kyle previously mentioned, the definition of a sport, according to the American Heritage Dictionary, is a specific diversion, usually involving physical exercise and having a set form and body of rules. Cheerleading lacks all three requirements. In order to make sure that cheerleading is categorized properly, the affirmative has come up with a plan to set the record straight. We want to keep cheerleading a part of Upper Dublin High School, but not under its current qualification of a sport. Rather, we wish to have cheerleading officially deemed by Upper Dublin High School an activity, which benefits more than just the school. First, cheerleading's removal from athletics will save the school district money. As per Mr. Michael Fogel, a teacher and math coordinator here at the high school, the school district is currently in the midst of a budget crisis. Since cheerleading is officially considered a sport by the high school, the school pays money to keep the program intact. However, as an activity, the only money the school would have to pay would be a minimal amount to the staff sponsor of the club who would coach the cheerleaders. Our plan would also prevent the occurrence of injuries in cheerleading. As cheerleading has progressed, more injuries have come to light, such as concussions and broken bones. But as an activity, the school would save money from not participating in tournaments, and since no preparation for tournaments would occur, injury risk would be eradicated. Lastly, we want to emphasize the importance of cheerleading by keeping it on participants' transcripts. We understand its significance as an extracurricular activity and want to ensure that that isn't ignored by including it on students' transcripts. Cheerleading is not a sport, a determination made by most Division I colleges and even the U.S. Court of Appeals. While the PIAA and my negative counterparts argue the contrary, such as Upper Dublin's cheerleaders went to Disney World last year, let it be known that the cheerleaders' trophy case is isolated in the athletic complex. And with the fullest potential of cheerleading, being standing on the sides of professional sports teams in skin-tight, cleavage-bearing clothing, waving pom-poms, why make it out to be more